As the years pass, amazing talent come and go in the NFL. We get to enjoy watching the next superstars carve out a Hall of Fame career during their time in the league. Although many have risen to the heights and have been enshrined in Canton, there are some of those who shone brightly on the field, but haven't heard their names called to Canton. Here at TPS, we're going to look at the best player from every NFL team who hasn't made it to the Hall of Fame. So without any further ado, let's dive right into it. Arizona Cardinals, Adrian Wilson. Wilson did it all for the Redbirds. He made 5 Pro Bowls, had 25.5 sacks, 27 interceptions, and 4 defensive touchdowns, and helped the team reach the Super Bowl. Even though many of the Cardinals teams Wilson was on weren't standouts, he was a major bright spot for them on defense. Atlanta Falcons, Tommy Nobis. Nobis was the first pick for the Falcons when they were established back in 1966, making a name for himself with his physical attributes, mental acuity, and excellent work ethic. Though not enshrined in Canton, he won the 1966 Defensive Rookie of the Year award, made 5 Pro Bowls, and made the NFL 1960s All-Decade Team. Baltimore Ravens, Marshall Yanda. Yanda played his entire 13-year career with the Ravens. There, he made 8 Pro Bowls, helped the team win Super Bowl 47, and made the NFL's 2010s All-Decade Team. With those accomplishments, Yanda should be enshrined in the Hall of Fame. Hopefully, that day comes soon. Buffalo Bills, Steve Tasker. Tasker, regarded as one of the best special teams player in the league, made 7 Pro Bowls, helped the Bills reach 4 straight Super Bowls, and it was all thanks to the agility that he brought to the punt and kickoff returns. However, the Bills lost all of them. Sadly, Tasker is not in the Hall of Fame for his deserving on-field performance. History would do well to remember the bright spot of this 1990s Bills team. Carolina Panthers, Luke Kuechly. Kuechly terrorized opposing offenses with his elite athleticism, his football intelligence, and serious work ethic. Kuechly earned the 2013 NFL Defensive Player of the Year award, made 7 Pro Bowls, and had 12.5 sacks, as well helped the Panthers reach Super Bowl 50. Kuechly has not been enshrined in the Hall of Fame, but, well, we hope that fates turn his way soon. Chicago Bears, Jay Hilgenberg. Hilgenberg, regarded as one of the best centers to play in the league, anchored the dominant Bears offensive line for most of his career. He helped the team win Super Bowl 20, made 7 Pro Bowls, and started in 152 out of 188 games as a pro. It's shameful that Hilgenberg isn't enshrined in Canton, as some of his teammates from the 1985 team that won the Super Bowl are. We hope to see him become the 8th guy from that legendary team enshrined. Cincinnati Bengals, Ken Anderson. Anderson was one of the most accomplished quarterbacks in the 1970s and 80s for his accomplishments in Cincinnati. He helped the Bengals reach Super Bowl 16, won the 1981 NFL MVP award, won the 1981 NFL Comeback Player of the Year award, and made 4 Pro Bowls. It's rather unfair that Anderson isn't enshrined in Canton. Hopefully, the Bengals legend will be enshrined sooner rather than later. Cleveland Browns, Clay Matthews Jr. Matthews Jr. was a fierce linebacker who dominated opposing offenses in the 1980s. Matthews Jr. helped the Browns reach the AFC Championship game 3 times, made 4 Pro Bowls, and led the league in combined tackles 4 times. With all that Matthews Jr. accomplished, it's painful not to see him enshrined in Canton. He and those 1980s Browns teams deserve far more recognition. Dallas Cowboys, Everson Walls. Walls had a very successful career with the Cowboys throughout the 1980s. He played for legendary head coach Tom Landry, made 4 Pro Bowls, led the league in interceptions in 1981, 1982, and 1985, and helped the Giants win Super Bowl 25. Despite all those accomplishments that Walls made on defense throughout his career, he wasn't enshrined in Canton during his last year of eligibility for modern-era talent. But hey, he may soon be enshrined as a senior candidate. Denver Broncos, Tom Nalen. Nalen was an outstanding center who played his entire 14 seasons with the Broncos. He helped the team win back-to-back Super Bowls, made 5 Pro Bowls, and started in 188 out of 194 games as a pro. Nalen sadly is not in the Hall of Fame. Truth is, centers rarely get in, and other centers with stronger resumes have trumped his inclusion. However, Nalen is enshrined in the Broncos Ring of Fame. But hey, an induction to Canton wouldn't hurt. Detroit Lions, Herman Moore. Moore played a significant role for the 1990s Lions, helping the team reach the 1991-92 NFC Championship game. Moore made 4 Pro Bowls, had 4 1,000 receiving yard seasons, led the league in receptions twice, and scored 62 touchdowns in the Motor City. Moore is not enshrined in Canton. Wide receivers have very high standards for getting in when they're eligible. However, Moore is enshrined in the pride of Lions, rightfully so. Green Bay Packers, Amon Green. Green was a force to be reckoned with in the 2000s as he bulldozed his way through opposing defenses. Green made 4 Pro Bowls, scored 60 rushing touchdowns throughout his career, and helped the Packers reach the playoffs 5 times. Green is not currently enshrined in Canton. His stats may not be elite enough for consideration, and playing in an era with other running backs like LaDainian Tomlinson, Adrian Peterson, and Edgar and James may have really hurt his chances. But hey, Green is enshrined in the Packers Hall of Fame. Houston Texans, Arian Foster. Although Foster's NFL career was short, he made the most of it with the Texans. He made 4 Pro Bowls, helped the Texans reach the playoffs twice, and led the league in rushing yards in 2010. Foster isn't enshrined in Canton due to his short career riddled by injuries, not enough volume on the ground, and of course, those high standards for Hall of Famers. The Texans, though, should enshrine Foster in their Ring of Honor immediately. It's criminal that he isn't. Indianapolis Colts, Reggie Wayne. The 2000s Colts had it all. Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison, Edgar and James, and Reggie Wayne, who also dominated opposing defenses. Wayne helped the Colts win Super Bowl 41. He made 6 Pro Bowls, led the league in receiving yards in 2007, and scored 82 touchdowns. Wayne hasn't been enshrined in Canton due to a logjam at wide receiver, which makes things very difficult to make a wideout selection, and potentially, he may have been in Marvin Harrison's shadow. However, Wayne is enshrined in the Colts Ring of Honor. Jacksonville Jaguars, Mark Brunell. Although Brunell was a backup at times, his tenure at the Jaguars is incredibly memorable. He made 3 Pro Bowls with the team, helped the Jags reach the AFC Championship game twice, and led the league in passing yards in 1996. Brunell isn't in Canton due to a lack of dominance, injuries, and intense competition with other quarterbacks like Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, and Jim Kelly. Brunell is enshrined in the pride of Jaguars, though. Kansas City Chiefs, Otis Taylor. Taylor was one of Len Dawson's favorite passing targets, even saying, "Otis made my job easy. If you got to pass to Otis, you know he'd catch it." He helped the Chiefs win Super Bowl 4, helped them win 2 AFL championships, made 2 Pro Bowls, and led the NFL in receiving yards in 1971. Taylor isn't enshrined in Canton due to subpar statistics compared to other wide receivers like Paul Warfield, Don Maynard, and Brett Belitkinov. Luckily, Taylor is enshrined in the Chiefs Hall of Fame. Las Vegas Raiders, Lester Hayes. Hayes was a dominant cornerback for the Raiders when they were in Oakland and Los Angeles. He helped the Silver and Black win 2 Super Bowls, made 5 Pro Bowls, led the league in interceptions in 1980, and was the 1980 NFL Defensive Player of the Year winner. Hayes is not in the Hall of Fame mainly due to his use of stickum, which was banned by the NFL. After the league banned stickum, Hayes' interception numbers declined, and, well, he also suffered some massively bad thumb injuries. Los Angeles Chargers, Leslie O'Neal. O'Neal had a very impressive tenure with the Bolts during the 1980s and 1990s. He helped the team reach Super Bowl 29, made 6 Pro Bowls, had 132.5 sacks, and was the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year in 1986. As dominant as O'Neal was, he wasn't in Canton due to a lack of team success for the Chargers during that era. Of course, though, O'Neal is enshrined in the Chargers Hall of Fame. Los Angeles Rams, Torrey Holt. It is a crime by the NFL that Holt is not in the Hall of Fame. All he's done is make 7 Pro Bowls, help the team win Super Bowl 34, led the league in receiving yards twice, and scored 74 touchdowns. The explanation for Holt's absence from Canton varies, as some fans speculate that there's a crowded wide receiver field. Voters believe that there are enough Rams players from that era already, and the lack of a Super Bowl MVP. But I mean, come on, get this man to Canton, NFL. Miami Dolphins, Mark Clayton. Clayton was a competitive wide receiver for the Dolphins who made things miserable for opposing defenses in the 1980s and early 90s. He made 5 Pro Bowls, helped the Dolphins reach Super Bowl 19, scored 84 touchdowns, and holds the record for most touchdowns scored for the Dolphins franchise. Voters in the Pro Football Hall of Fame discount Clayton due to being a product of playing with Dan Marino during his Hall of Fame career, and a lack of success during the playoffs. But man, it would still be very nice to see Clayton get into Canton one day. Minnesota Vikings, Jim Marshall. Marshall made a name for himself in the land of 10,000 lakes as a member of the Purple People Eaters defense. Marshall made 2 Pro Bowls, helped the Vikings reach Super Bowl 4, and holds the NFL record for most consecutive games played with one team, with 270 games under his belt. Despite his accolades, Marshall is not enshrined in Canton. due to a lack of first-team All-Pros and the infamous wrong way run against the 49ers in 1964. Marshall is enshrined in the Vikings Ring of Honor, though. New England Patriots, Adam Vinatieri. Vinatieri was a crucial piece in the Patriots becoming a dynasty in the 2000s. He kicked 2 game-winning field goals for the Pats in Super Bowl 36 and Super Bowl 38, as well as helping the team win Super Bowl 39. On top of that, he made 3 Pro Bowls and holds the record for the most consecutive field goals made in the league with 44. With all those accolades, Vinatieri never got enough votes to get enshrined in Canton, and a potential bias against kickers is possibly holding him back. Regardless, Vinatieri is one of the best kickers of all time. New Orleans Saints, Joe Horn. Horn gave the Saints a life in the 2000s, with his touchdown celebration in 2003, his 4 Pro Bowl nods, and helping the Saints reach the 2007 NFC Championship game. While Horn was a great wideout in the Big Easy, he unfortunately doesn't have enough accolades to be enshrined in Canton. Although, the Saints have enshrined Horn in their Hall of Fame. New York Giants, Phil Simms. Simms became the face of the Giants in the 1980s and early 90s, as he led the team to 2 Super Bowl wins. Simms also made 2 Pro Bowls, was the NFL Man of the Year winner in 1993, and holds the highest completion percentage in a Super Bowl with 88% in Super Bowl 21. Simms, however, is not enshrined in Canton, as he was considered to be only an average quarterback due to a lack of standout statistics. Simms, though, is enshrined in the Giants Ring of Honor. New York Jets, Wesley Walker. Walker was an outstanding wide receiver for the Jets in the 1970s and 80s. He made 2 Pro Bowls, led the league in receiving yards in 1978, and scored 71 touchdowns. Walker is not enshrined in Canton due to lower peak stats and a lack of individual accolades, though. Walker is, though, enshrined in the Jets Ring of Honor. Philadelphia Eagles, Donovan McNabb. McNabb was the face of the Eagles during the 2000s, as he made 6 Pro Bowls, led the Eagles to a Super Bowl 39 appearance, and 4 NFC Championship games. McNabb isn't enshrined in Canton due to a lack of Super Bowl wins and his perceived lack of dominance in his prime years. McNabb is enshrined in the Eagles Hall of Fame, though. Pittsburgh Steelers, L.C. Greenwood. Greenwood was a standout defensive end in the 1970s, as he was a part of the Steel Curtain defense. He helped the team become a Super Bowl dynasty and made 6 Pro Bowls as well as had 78 sacks. Unfortunately, Greenwood isn't enshrined in Canton due to a lack of statistics compared to other Hall of Fame defensive ends from his era. Greenwood is enshrined in the Steelers Hall of Fame. San Francisco 49ers, Billy Wilson. Wilson played in a much different era of football back in the 1950s. Wilson scored 49 touchdowns, made 6 Pro Bowls, and led the league in receptions 3 times. Wilson isn't in Canton due to a lack of a championship on his resume. I mean, he played in the playoffs once, but that was during the 1957 conference playoff against the Lions. Seattle Seahawks, Sean Alexander. Alexander bulldozed his way through opposing defenses in the early 2000s. Alexander made 3 Pro Bowls, helped the Seahawks reach Super Bowl 40, and won the 2005 NFL MVP award. Alexander is not enshrined in Canton due to his short peak performance and having to deal with other competitive running backs. Alexander is enshrined in the Seahawks Ring of Honor, though. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Mike Alstott. Alstott was a bruiser of a fullback, thanks to his powerful running style, which broke tackles. Alstott made 6 Pro Bowls, helped the Bucs win Super Bowl 37, and scored 58 rushing touchdowns. Alstott is sadly not in Canton due to the position that he played and his stats. He is, however, enshrined in the Bucs Ring of Honor. Tennessee Titans, Eddie George. George was a bruising running back who helped elevate the Titans' offense in the 1990s and early 2000s. George helped the team reach Super Bowl 44, made 4 Pro Bowls, and scored 68 rushing touchdowns. George isn't enshrined in Canton due to a lack of a Super Bowl and low career yards per carry. Of course, though, George is enshrined in the Titans' Ring of Honor. Washington Commanders, Joe Theismann. Theismann made Washington a force to be reckoned with in the early 1980s. He helped Washington win Super Bowl 17, made 2 Pro Bowls, and was the NFL MVP in 1983. Theismann is enshrined in Washington's Ring of Fame, but he isn't enshrined in Canton, largely due to a short peak and the career-ending injury that he suffered in 1985. But hey, what player from your favorite team's history do you think should be enshrined in the Hall of Fame? Do you agree with our pick? Let us know in the comment section below. If you liked this video and learned a thing or two, then hey, clicking the like button helps us out a ton. And you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.